Hi and welcome to today's episode of Talking Fertility. Now today, following on from last week's episode on improving egg quality, today I thought it was appropriate to talk about sperm health because yes, it does take two to tango, and this is a topic that you have requested in the Conceive Baby with Tasha Jennings Facebook group. So today I'm going to talk about 5 things that you can do to improve sperm health. Now, when I was thinking about this, to be honest, there are so many factors that I work with patients to improve the sperm health and sperm quality, as well as many lifestyle choices that you can make, like quitting smoking, reducing alcohol, etc. So today I'm going to be focusing on one aspect, and that's key nutrients. And this is a passion of mine, and I'm thrilled to be speaking on this topic of preconception key nutrients at the upcoming Fertility Nurses of Australasia conference next month in Melbourne. And again, there are many key nutrients that do support sperm health. So today I'm going to be covering for you my top 5. So firstly, I'll start off with one that I think everyone's heard about, and it's probably one of the main ones that we think of when we think of male health or sperm health particularly, and that's zinc. Now, zinc deficiency is associated with lower testosterone levels, low sperm count, and low sperm motility, health, and overall male fertility. Now, when we're looking at dietary sources, one of the highest dietary sources of zinc is oysters, which is one of the reasons why they have, they're renowned for their aphrodisiac qualities. So oysters are high in zinc, as are other shellfish as well, and other types of fish. Most meats, eggs, hard cheese, and to a lesser extent, it is found in pulses and whole grains. So the thing to be mindful of when getting zinc through whole grains is that whole grains also contain phytic acid, which is the fiber part in our plant, and that can impair zinc absorption. So animal sources are richer and more easily metabolized into the system. Now, it's really important to choose organic sources of meat and sustainable sources of fish wherever possible, because unfortunately, much of our meat does come with its own cocktail of hormones, which can be harmful in themselves to fertility. So choose free range and organic sources wherever possible. And in relation to fish, the other thing to be mindful of, the bigger the fish, basically the higher up the food chain they are, the more smaller fish they eat. And this increases their heavy metal and toxin load. So minimize consumption of your larger fish, like your swordfish and your flakes, and focus on smaller fish like salmon, trout, and sardines. If you are vegetarian, I know I mentioned the phytic acid, you can still get zinc from vegetarian sources. Just be aware of the lowered absorption, and I would recommend getting zinc levels tested if you are having trouble with fertility. And supplementing with usually between 20 and 40 milligrams may be beneficial. Now, I always do tailor my recommendations to suit your personal profile and your symptom picture. I see patients online via Skype and Zoom, or see your healthcare professional who can tailor a prescription to suit your needs. So the next one I'll touch on, I think we hear a lot about as well, is coenzyme Q10. Now, CoQ10 is another important nutrient in both male and female fertility because it's involved in the production of energy, and it's a great antioxidant as well. In fact, coenzyme Q10 is so vital for energy production and to life itself that our body naturally produces coenzyme Q10 to help support these vital bodily functions. However, our ability to produce this natural coenzyme Q10 unfortunately declines as we age. And the demand for coenzyme Q10 is also increased by illness, stress, and just the natural process of aging. So therefore, getting enough CoQ10 through diet and appropriate supplements becomes more important as we age and also during times of stress. So dietary sources, it is found in significant amounts I'll focus on why it's important for sperm health initially, in that it is found in significant amounts in seminal fluid. And studies have shown that the amount of CoQ10 in seminal fluid is directly related to the quality, the sperm count, and the motility. So it is particularly important for obviously both male and female fertility, but for sperm health in particular. Now, dietary sources, meats and fish are again your best sources, similar to zinc. Again, organic and sustainable wherever possible. It's also found in smaller amounts in nuts and seeds, some fruits and vegetables like broccoli, cauliflower, grapes, avocados, strawberries, just to name a few. And supplementing, you can supplement with around 100 to 300 milligrams can be beneficial for sperm health. Now, another nutrient that I think gets glossed over because it is quite generic, but it's actually really important for sperm health and an antioxidant capacity, and that's vitamin C. Vitamin C is another antioxidant nutrient that is also found in seminal fluid. It helps to reduce oxidative stress and help protect sperm from environmental damage. Now, unlike zinc and some of the other fat-soluble nutrients, vitamin C is water-soluble. So, which on the plus side means that you can get the effects of vitamin C almost immediately. On the other hand, this means that it's easily lost from the body. So you really need to maintain a regular intake of vitamin C because levels can drop off quite quickly. So getting plenty through your diet every day is really important to replenish those stores. So good sources include oranges, kiwi fruit, grapefruit, black currants, strawberries, cranberries, broccoli and your leafy greens, cauliflower, sweet potato, tomatoes, lots more. Tomatoes are also very high in lycopene, which is great for male fertility health as well. And if you are looking to supplement, supplementing with around 250 to 1,000 milligrams may be useful. And there's actually really no harm in including a vitamin C supplement as a part of your diet. Although if you do take too much, you will get a tummy gut upset. So I'd start with smaller doses. And in general, taking smaller doses of vitamin C in divided doses over the day can maintain that optimal absorption instead of a big hit all at once, which can A, upset the tummy, and B, can be just lost from the system. So smaller divided doses over the day, and of course dietary sources throughout the day is really important. Other two antioxidant nutrients that I'll mention together because they do work very synergistically is vitamin E and selenium. And I have bundled these ones together as they do work well in combination. So selenium has found to be beneficial for sperm health. They've both been found to improve sperm motility and morphology. So basically how good your sperm are at swimming and what the overall shape and size is, which obviously both very important parameters when we're talking about their ability to race to that egg and actually fertilize the egg. So vitamin E and selenium in combination. Brazil nuts are a great source of both of those nutrients. And vitamin E is also found in some of the other nuts like almonds, cashews, peanuts, which of course aren't a nut, they're a legume, but still contain vitamin E. And supplementation can be beneficial. Around 25 to 40 milligrams of selenium and around 100 to 500 IU of vitamin E can be beneficial. I do sometimes recommend higher doses, but again, I would recommend seeing myself or your naturopath or nutritionist before taking higher doses because these nutrients, although really beneficial for sperm health and fertility, may actually be harmful to fertility if not properly prescribed. So you need to be taking the right dose for you. Another one I'll touch on, which is L-carnitine. Now, like CoQ10, carnitine is important for energy production. And these two nutrients do work really well together. L-carnitine helps to improve the transport of fatty acids into the cell where it can be used for energy. And it's been shown to improve sperm parameters like motility and morphology, as well as improve sexual function, particularly in older men. Now, again, meat and fish are good sources of carnitine, as well as nuts and seeds and some vegetables like artichoke, asparagus, garlic, parsley, and your green vegetables. And your greens are also a great source of folate, which we know how important that is for female fertility and preconception, but it's also really important for male fertility health as well. Now, when looking at supplements, studies have used anywhere from 500 milligrams to 2,000 milligrams. So speak with myself or your healthcare practitioner about the best dose for you. Now, lastly, I'll touch on a point which is actually not a key nutrient, but it's something I always like to touch on when I am recommending dietary sources, and that's pesticides. Now, I've spoken about this in relation to female fertility, and I think it's really important to mention because the reality is that we are exposed to a great deal of pesticides through our diet and lifestyle, and it is impacting our fertility. Studies have shown that men who have a higher intake of pesticides within their fruit and vegetable intake have reduced semen quality. Now, men in agricultural and pesticide-related jobs are significantly more likely to have fertility issues related to sperm health, as well as be at increased risk of high autoantibodies, which negatively affects your ability to conceive. So eliminating pesticides completely is near impossible, but it is possible to significantly reduce your exposure. And it's especially important to reduce your exposure during the critical 90 to 150 days when the sperm are maturing, ready to be released for their race to the egg. So this is when you can have the greatest impact on the health of that sperm and the health of the DNA that you are passing on to your future child. Now, I talk about these a lot in relation to female fertility and egg quality, as I mentioned last week, but this is also really important for male fertility health. You really do have the ability to improve that DNA, improve that sperm quality that is passed on to your future child. So not only does that improve your chances of conceiving, but it improves your chances of a healthy baby and can improve the lifelong health of your future child. So when you're reducing pesticides, buy organic fruit and vegetables where possible because they don't have the same pesticide load. And I know that can be difficult and can also be really expensive. So I do always recommend my patients look at the Clean 15 and the Dirty Dozen, which is a list of fruits and vegetables with the highest pesticide load compared to the lowest pesticide load. And you can download a free copy of this in the shop on my website at tashajennings.com.au to support your fertility health and also save your wallet as well. So I hope that's given you a little insight into some of the key nutrients that you can look at to help improve sperm health. Now, as I mentioned, there are many factors at play when it comes to sperm health. So if this is an issue for you, I do recommend making a time to see myself. I offer online consultations and after-hours consultations, or see your healthcare professional for the best advice for your fertility health. So I hope you've enjoyed today's episode, and I look forward to seeing you next time.